नमस्कार साथियों। देश के सबसे जाने माने अर्थशास्त्री, लंबे समय तक देश के वित्त मंत्री के तौर पर जिन्होंने देश की सेवा की और आज भी पूरा देश अर्थशास्त्र के मुद्दों पर, देश की अर्थव्यवस्था के मुद्दों पर, जिनकी बात को बड़े गौर और ध्यान से सुनता है, कांग्रेस कार्य समिति के सदस्य श्री पी चिदम्बरम जी और मैं आज एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा, जिससे इस देश के 130 करोड़ लोगों की जिंदगी प्रभावित होती है और जिसे चोर दरवाजे से लाया जा रहा है, उसे लेकर आपके बीच में पेश हुए हैं। सबसे पहले मैं चिदम्बरम साहब से अनुरोध करूंगा कि वो इस मुद्दे को आपके समक्ष रखेंगे और फिर मैं थोड़ा सा उसका हिंदी रूपांतर आपको दूंगा। आदरणीय श्री पी चिदम्बरम जी।
Friends of the media, good evening. I have a opening statement as usual. It's a brief statement. The statement has been circulated to all of you. I shall read it and then we will take questions. The Congress Party welcomes and supports the statement of Dr. Raghuram Rajan and Dr. Viral Acharya, stoutly opposing the proposal of the BJP government to allow corporates and business houses to enter the banking sector and establish banks. The proposal, ostensibly based on a report of an RBI internal working group, has the fingerprints of the Modi government written all over it. This proposal, along with some other recommendations, is part of a deeper game plan to control the banking industry. The proposal, if implemented, will completely reverse the enormous gains made in the last 50 years of retrieving the banking sector from the clutches of business houses. All over the world, especially in developed economies, three principles govern banking. One, broad-based shareholding reflecting shareholder democracy. Two, strict separation of ownership and management. Ownership with shareholders and management in professional hands. And three, prohibition of connected lending, building a wall between lender and borrower. All three principles will be thrown out of the window if corporates and business houses are allowed to set up banks. Bank funds belong to depositors who are the people of this country. As a proportion of total deposits, the equity of a bank is minuscule. The total deposits in the banking industry is the order of rupees 140 lakh crore. Let me repeat that number, 140 lakh crore rupees. If business houses are allowed to own banks, they will, with a small equity investment, control very large amounts of the nation's financial resources. This must not happen, and the Congress will strive its utmost to ensure that this will not happen. It is on record that the idea, when first mooted, was opposed by all but one expert who were consulted. Dr. Rajan and Dr. Acharya have given cogent and convincing reasons why the idea is totally retrograde and why it will lead to concentration of economic and political power. It is shocking that such an idea should have been presented to the people as though it has the imprimatur of experts and the endorsement of the RBI. Just as the RBI was the cat's paw of the government in the saga of demonetization, the RBI is being used by the government to push through its dangerous agenda. This is another example of the Modi government pandering to the aggrandizement and acquisitive ambitions of the business houses of India. If the proposal goes through, it is no secret which politically connected business houses will get the first licenses and increase their monopolistic power. There are some other proposals of the IWG that are controversial and highly debatable. They require a separate analysis and exposition. We shall reserve them for another day because today we want you and your readers and viewers to focus on the core proposal of allowing corporates and business houses to set up banks. The Congress Party condemns the proposal and demands that the government unequivocally and forthwith declare that it has no intention of pursuing the proposal. We call upon all the people of India and all political parties and all trade unions to join us in resolutely opposing the retrograde idea of allowing corporates and business houses to enter the banking sector and set up banks. Now I shall ask Randeep to summarize the statement in Hindi, and then both of us will take questions.
Thank you, sir. आदरणीय साथियों, भाजपा सरकार और रिजर्व बैंक के इंटरनल वर्किंग ग्रुप द्वारा बड़े बड़े धन्ना सेठों और चुनिंदा उद्योगपतियों द्वारा बैंक खोले जाने की अनुमति देने का आरबीआई के पूर्व गवर्नर डॉक्टर रघुराम राजन और डॉक्टर विरल आचार्य ने कड़ा विरोध किया है। भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस इस प्रपोजल के कड़े विरोध में है और ऐसे किसी कदम को जनहित के लिए घातक मानती है। अगर बैंकिंग व्यवस्था को मुट्ठी भर धन्ना सेठों को सौंप दिया गया तो जैसा मोदी सरकार चाहती भी है, तो पिछले 50 सालों से बैंकिंग व्यवस्था को साधारण जनमानस, किसान और गरीब तक पहुंचाने की सारी कोशिशें और कवायद पूरी तरह से बेकार और खत्म हो जाएंगी। पूरी दुनिया में बैंकिंग प्रणाली 3 कदमों पर या तीन स्तंभों पर आधारित है। पहला, ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग बैंक के मालिक हों ताकि एक व्यक्ति का आधिपत्य न हो पाए। दूसरा, बैंक की मलकियत और संचालन अलग अलग हों, यानी शेयर होल्डर मालिक हों और प्रोफेशनल्स बैंक का संचालन करें ताकि सही तरीके से बैंकिंग प्रणाली लोगों के लिए फायदेमंद हो पाए। और तीसरा, कर्ज देने वाले बैंक के मालिक और कर्ज लेने वाले अलग अलग व्यक्ति हों, यानी बैंक का मालिक खुद अपने व्यवसाय के लिए ही जनता का पैसा इस्तेमाल कर खुद को कर्ज ना दे पाए। बैंकों में जनता की गाढ़ी कमाई और बचत का पैसा है, जिसे महफूज रखना ही सबसे बड़ा राष्ट्रहित है। आज बैंकों के पास, जैसा चिदम्बरम जी ने कहा, लगभग 140 लाख करोड़ रुपया देश के 130 करोड़ लोगों का जमा है। यदि कुछ उद्योगपतियों को बैंक खोलने की इजाजत दे दी तो वो थोड़ा सा पैसा लगाकर 130 करोड़ भारतीयों के इस पैसे को प्रभावित भी कर सकते हैं और खुद के फायदे के लिए इस्तेमाल भी कर सकते हैं। पर कांग्रेस पार्टी ये कभी नहीं होने देगी। इसका नतीजा ये होगा, अगर मोदी सरकार का प्रपोजल मान लिया जाए, कि देश की राजनीतिक और आर्थिक ताकत मुट्ठी भर लोगों के हाथों में सिमट कर रह जाएगी। हालांकि सब एक्सपर्ट्स ने एक स्वर से इस आइडिया का विरोध किया, फिर भी मोदी सरकार ने इसे जबरदस्ती थोपने की कोशिश की है। ये किसके लिए किया जा रहा है, किन लोगों के लिए किया जा रहा है और बैंकों का लाइसेंस किनको देने के लिए किया जा रहा है, ये पूरा देश जानता है, ताकि मुट्ठी भर लोगों के हाथ में देश की पूरी आर्थिक ताकत और फायदा पहुंच सके। आरबीआई का दुरुपयोग नोटबंदी के समय भी किया गया और आरबीआई का दुरुपयोग अब भी एक कठपुतली की तरह मोदी सरकार द्वारा किया जा रहा है। भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस इसका कड़ा विरोध करती है। हम देश के सब अर्थशास्त्रियों, देश के सब राजनीतिक दलों, देश के हर उस व्यक्ति जो देश हित का पक्षधर है और सब ट्रेड यूनियंस को ये कहते हैं कि वो कांग्रेस पार्टी के साथ खड़े होकर जनहित में इस निर्णय का विरोध करें। कोई प्रश्न आप पूछना चाहें तो चिदम्बरम साहब उपलब्ध हैं। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर। हाँ जी सर, कृपया इंडिकेट करिए, हाँ जिनके सवाल हो पूछे।
Can I put my question? Can I put my question?
महमूद बारी सर।
हाँ sir, good afternoon sir. Will you devise any common strategy to thwart this move of the government?
Well, I think a common strategy will be evolved in due course. Today, the party has taken a considered position. We are appealing to all political parties and all trade unions to support us in resolutely opposing this retrograde idea. And I'm sure other political parties and other trade unions will make their position clear. In fact, I expect them to make their position clear in the next couple of days. And once their positions are made public, we will consider how we meet and we get together and fight this pernicious idea.
Thank you, sir.
Next question.
Next question, please. Rakesh Kapoor sir, please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chidambaram, good evening.
Good evening.
My question is that this proposal of the government, nobody knows whose economic policies are being implemented in India and whose imagination is this. But the point is, once you adopt this policy, the great Indian democracy convert into a Lala's land, into a Lala land. And not only this, the impact of this policy would be that the corporate houses will run the government instead of government running the economy or corporate houses or guiding the corporate houses. This has a very dangerous proposition, sir.
I entirely agree with you. This is not the idea of the RBI. It cannot be the idea of the IWG, because everyone they consulted, except one, opposed the idea. And to be fair to the IWG, they've added the minutes to their report. It is not the RBI's idea. RBI is being used or misused. Demonetization. The RBI did not recommend demonetization on its own. The Modi government forced the RBI to make the recommendation and then said RBI has recommended and we are doing it. So similarly, they are misusing the RBI. India's most venerable institution is being misused and abused to push the political agenda of Mr. Modi and his government.
Thank you, sir. I'll move to the next one. Syed from IANS. Syed, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I just wanted to ask that what would be the ramifications on the depositors if government goes ahead on this proposal?
What is the situation of depositors of Yes Bank? What is the situation of depositors of Lakshmi Vilas Bank? What is the situation of the depositors of Global Trust Bank? When banks fail, the depositors are at the mercy of the government. And they run from pillar to post to get their money back. If corporate houses begin to control banks, in the first few months or few years, it will all appear hunky-dory. But when that resources which they control are diverted to promote their own businesses, and some businesses fail, loans become NPAs, the depositors will be entirely at the mercy of the corporate house. The government will wash its hands and say, you chose to put your money in a private bank run by a corporate house, how are we responsible? That is why I say this is completely retrograde. It has got very serious consequences. And Dr. Rajan and Dr. Acharya have raised many, many questions. There has been no answer from the government for the last several hours. Why now? Why this idea? Who supported it? Everything is opaque. And the opaqueness leads us to believe that it is entirely Mr. Modi's idea. And I'm sure his cabinet ministers did not know about this idea either.
Thank you, sir. I'll move to the next one. Sanjay Mishra ji from Dainik Jagran.
Chidambaram sir, my question is that one hand the government is saying that they are reforming the banking sector and they are consolidating the bank by merging small government bank, and on the other hand they are now trying to open the banking sector for the corporates. So what is the dichotomy of this government policy in the name of reforms? One side you are saying that we are consolidating government banks by bringing merging banks, and on the other side you are opening for the corporates.
The Congress party's position is very clear. While we have no objection to private sector banks growing, we are very clear that public sector banks must remain public sector banks. I think Dr. Manmohan Singh, when he was Prime Minister, made that very clear, and I have reiterated it as Finance Minister. Public sector banks must remain public sector banks. But what they are doing now, by allowing corporates to enter the banking sector, is to weaken the public sector bank, enlarge the footprint of the private sector, allow corporates to enter private sector banks, and eventually get control of a huge part of the depositors' money. In the long run, this will weaken the public sector banks. In the long run, public sector banks will begin to fail, which is why we are very clear in our mind that corporate houses and business houses should not be allowed entry into the banking sector or be given licenses to set up banks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next one is Purnima Joshi ji from Hindu Business Line. Purnima ji, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. This is Purnima Joshi from Business Line. My question is, if the Congress is not opposed to the private entities operating banks, then why raise questions about the corporates owning banks? And isn't the issue here then regarding regulation and RBI more than who owns the bank? And also, doesn't it give me more options as a consumer in terms of rates, in terms of, yeah.
You're wrong on both, Purnima ji. Firstly, there are very, very strict guidelines and criteria of who will get a bank license. Only a fit and proper person can get a bank license. Sometimes even those choices turn out to be wrong choices. Yes Bank is an example. People thought that the promoters of Yes Bank were fit and proper persons. Ultimately, it turned out they were not fit and proper persons. But once you allow corporate houses to enter, what kind of choice will you make? What kind of criterion will you apply to choose whether the particular corporate house is fit and proper? It will be political largesse, political patronage, and only the politically connected corporate houses will get these licenses. I mean, that you know, I know, the whole world knows, but yet we are unwilling to speak up. Congress party speaking up today. We know who will get the first licenses. So there's a vast difference between professional bankers, highly qualified professionals, being fit and proper persons promoting a bank. For example, some banks have been promoted. Bandhan Bank has been promoted. But somebody who has done many, many years of service in micro lending, he has promoted the Bandhan Bank. So similarly, many qualified individuals or groups of individuals can promote a bank. They are professionals. But to ask a corporate business house to promote a bank and control a bank is to pave the way for monopolistic power over resources. Please understand, this is not over land, this is not over technology, this is not over any other asset. This is over money, and money belonging to the people. So there's a vast difference between professionals, fit and proper persons being allowed to set up banks under very strict criteria and allowing corporates and business houses to set up banks.
Thank you, sir. The next question is Prakashan from Mathrubhumi. Prakashan ji.
So my question is, I am asking a question slightly deviating from the subject. Can you hear, sir?
Yes, I can hear, but don't deviate from the subject.
Okay. Opposition is always alleging that the Modi government is suppressing people's freedom and snatching away their basic right. But here in Kerala, I am from Kerala. I am the representative of Mathrubhumi, Kerala. Kerala, where the one of the opposition parties ruling there, and that in there they implemented the Draconian Police Act, and after by this opposition from several quarters, they withdrew the law. If the opposition parties, these CPM and the communist parties are with the Congress in national level, if the opposition parties are doing the same thing as the Modi government is doing, what is the moral right to oppose this government? That is my question.
This is not the subject today.
Yes, it is slightly different. Okay.
But let me remind you, immediately after the first news came about the governor giving assent to an ordinance, I immediately tweeted that I condemned the law, and I asked Sitaram Yechury, General Secretary of the CPIM, how will you defend this atrocious law? I sent a copy of my tweet to him. It has appeared in the media. I immediately tweeted and said, we condemn the law. This will have a chilling effect. This is anti-democratic. And anyway, in about 48 hours, the CPM Politburo seems to have prevailed upon the government of Kerala to put that law in cold storage. So far, so good. But I agree with you, they should not have promulgated this ordinance in the first place. But let's get back to the subject today, please.
Thank you, sir. The next question, and let this be the last question. Seema Gilji. Seema ji wanted to ask. Seema ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir, myself Seema Gill this side from Delhi. Basically, I'm from Haryana, so I love सुरजेवाला सर, आई बेसिकली रिक्वेस्ट यू कि आप हिंदी में उसको अनुवाद करें, क्योंकि मैं चाहती हूँ कि हरियाणा की जनता चीजों को समझे. एज वी आर ऑलरेडी स्ट्रगल सर, कृषि जो एक्ट है उसको लेकर के ऑलरेडी गवर्नमेंट ने जिस तरीके से इंट्रोड्यूस किया उसको लेकर के, क्योंकि बैंकिंग सेक्टर और जो एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में जो इश्यूज हैं वो मेरे हिसाब से दोनों कॉमन पीपल को इफेक्ट करते हैं. उस पर जिस तरीके से सरकार पर प्रेशर बनाना चाहिए था, क्योंकि सरकार आज तक भी इस बात पर राजी नहीं हो पाई है कि इस पर बहस होनी चाहिए, डिस्कशन होना चाहिए. जैसे कल परसों में दोबारा से बॉर्डर्स को सील कर दिया, किसानों को बात करने के लिए एक प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं दिया जा रहा है. क्या लगता है कि सरकार की तरफ से किस तरह की, आपकी तरफ से किस तरह की रणनीति होनी चाहिए ताकि सरकार पर प्रेशर बनाया जा सके कि वो आम आदमी की परेशानी को सुने? क्योंकि अगर बैंकिंग सेक्टर को प्राइवेटाइजेशन के हाथ में पूरी तरीके से दे दिया जाता है तो डिमांड एंड सप्लाई पूरी तरीके से प्राइवेट सेक्टर के हाथ में आ जाएगा. जैसे कि एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में ऑलरेडी वी आर फेसिंग कि आने वाले टाइम में हो सकता है कि की पूरी मार्केट का जो एक तरह से जो डिसीजन मेकर है वो कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर हो जाए किसान के बदले में, क्योंकि किसान के पास तो स्टॉक करने के लिए कुछ होता नहीं है. पूरा अगर प्राइवेट सेक्टर के पास चला जाएगा तो वो जो 140 करोड़ लोगों की डिमांड एंड सप्लाई का जो बैलेंस है वो कैसे होगा इस देश का? आई वुड लाइक टू या प्लीज.
Let Chidambaram Saab first respond and then I'll translate it.
No. Go ahead, Randeep. Okay. She's asking. Go ahead. If I want to supplement, I'll do that later.
मैम, आपकी बात से हम संपूर्णतया सहमत हैं कि एक तरफ किसान और कृषि उत्पादों उन पर आक्रमण कर किसानों की आवाज को दबाकर, यहाँ तक कि जो किसानों ने 26 तारीख को दिल्ली कूच की मांग रखी है हरियाणा में कर्फ्यू जैसे हालात हैं और रातों रात किसान नेताओं की धरपकड़ की जा रही है, जैसे कि छोटू राम जी की जयंती पर किसान ने कोई अपराध कर दिया हो। किसान ने अपराध नहीं किया, अपराध उन्होंने किया है जो दिल्ली और चंडीगढ़ की सत्ता की गलियारों में आसीन हैं और किसान की मेहनत की आवाज उठाने वालों पर दमन चक्र चला रहे हैं। हमारी ये मांग है कि उन सब किसान नेताओं को फौरन रिहा किया जाए और प्रजातांत्रिक तरीके से दिल्ली जाकर पूरे हिंदुस्तान की ट्रेड यूनियंस और किसान यूनियन जो विरोध प्रदर्शन कर रही हैं उन्हें इजाजत दी जाए। इसी प्रकार का एक और कदम बैंकिंग सेक्टर जो है, पूरी बैंकिंग व्यवस्था पर उसको चंद धन्ना सेठों के हाथ में देने के लिए मोदी सरकार द्वारा उठाया गया है, जिसके बारे में एक व्यापक वक्तव्य श्री पी चिदम्बरम जी ने दिया। अगर आपने कॉरपोरेट सेक्टर्स को बैंक चलाने की इजाजत दे दी तो देश का बहुमूल्य धनराशि 140 लाख करोड़ रुपया से अधिक जो आज बैंकों में जमा है वो चंद धन्ना सेठों के हाथों में चला जाएगा और वो इसका इस्तेमाल फिर खुद के फायदे के लिए करेंगे। ना पैसे की सुरक्षा बचेगी, ना मेहनत की कमाई और जमा किए गए पैसे की कोई कीमत बचेगी और इसीलिए कांग्रेस पार्टी इसका कड़ा विरोध कर रही है। धन्यवाद।
Chidambaram sir, would you like to add something?
No, I think Randeep has answered the question fully. Is there? I just asked him if there is any other question.
Is there any other question on the suo motu? Siddharth, क्या आपका सवाल suo motu पे है?
Pranav, I have a question.
सर दूसरा क्वेश्चन है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने जो मुलाकात करी उसके ऊपर कोविड को लेकर।
Concentrate on this, Siddharth, because we don't want to derail from the issue.
We want to focus on this proposal today.
Pranav ji.
Meenakshi from Sanmarg.
Ji, Pranav, Chidambaram sir, what is the strategy you are taking to hold on this project? To give license to private party?
The strategy is to mobilize public opinion. Public opinion is the strongest weapon to fight the government. We hope that other political parties and all trade unions will join us. If political parties, trade unions, and the Congress Party join hands, we will put forward a formidable opposition to this retrograde proposal. Let us see what the government does after that. We'll have to take it one step at a time. At the moment, we have made our position clear and we have appealed to all political parties and all trade unions to support us to oppose this retrograde proposal. So let's wait for a couple of days.